So here's the big question for you here. How do you spot a profitable real estate agent? How do we find the difference between a good agent, a bad agent, and what you need to do to be more profitable yourself? Welcome to today's morning meeting. I'm Greg Luther, the one guy that meets with you every single week to help you in growing your real estate business. Today, we're going to talk about how to find the good ones and then how to copy their results. If you're a real estate agent yourself, obviously it is crucial for you to do all the things you need to do to generate buyers and sellers in today's market, regardless of what's going on with the economy, with the changes in the rules that we have now, with the NAR settlement, with the interest rates, with all of these issues. What are you doing to generate buyers and sellers? There's closings happening all around you. You need to be getting your portion of them. So, our topic for the day today is how to spot a profitable agent. More importantly, how to become one yourself. We certainly know how to spot the unprofitable agents. Let me tell you how you can find them. They don't sleep real well at night. They think they have a problem with insomnia, but it's actually a medical diagnosis called broke acidness. If they would fix that issue, they would be able to sleep very, very well at night. They have debts that keep piling up on them. They know they should get a newer car. They just can't really afford to get a newer car because they don't feel confident in the monthly revenue that their system is currently generating for them. They depend solely on their past clients and sphere of influence. And while that's usually fine, it's certainly way, way down now. So it's not a profitable model. These are the things that are not working well in today's market. Now, it doesn't matter where you're at. By the way, make sure you check in the chat here. Let us know the city and state that you sell in. I literally sent out 3 referrals this morning where agents just hit us up here and said, hey, do you have somebody in this area? Do you have somebody in this area? We just connect you to them. Let us know the city and state here in the chat of where you sell real estate, as long as you're willing to accept referrals. If we do have anybody that mentions your area, we got you on the list. So, the fact is, in real estate, the middle class agent is gone. Much like America, there's no such thing as an average real estate agent anymore. As a matter of fact, that discrepancy is getting bigger and bigger. That is getting a wider split between top agents and struggling agents. There's not really a middle realtor. I would consider a middle to be like 3 or 4 closings a month, right? That would be considered average. Maybe 2 or 3 would be considered middle of the road. What we're finding is they're doing 10 or they're doing 0 to 1. And that's what we're seeing happening nationwide. The rich are getting richer. Those that are successful are becoming more successful. Why? Has nothing to do with the amount of money they have. It certainly has nothing to do with the brokerage that they're with. It has to do with the approach they're using to generate business. So since that middle class real estate agent is kind of separating here, a lot of agents are either winning bigger than ever before, or they're struggling and they're nervous and they don't know what's going on with their business, and they're trying new things and they're investigating this over here, and should I sign up for this, and I don't know, I've tried this stuff before and this didn't work, and they're timid, they're pulling their punches, and they're getting beat up. They're not even able to defend themselves in this business. But I want to note something for you here. There are several agents that are clearing over $30,000 a month. Stop listening to poor people. Stop listening to agents that are doing 0 or 1 or 2 closings a month. You have to stop listening to what, it doesn't matter what there's, I'm not saying listen to it and don't take their advice. I'm saying they're not allowed to talk to you, because that shit is contagious. The excuses they have will actually make sense to you, and it lets you off the hook. So it's important for you to spot top producers, to find out what they do and how you can copy their approach. I took a couple of notes here because I don't want to miss anything for you. You'll want to write some of these things down, by the way. But you should do everything that you can to never go to a meeting that top producers are not attending. If you go to your office meeting and it's a bunch of freaking losers complaining about the economy and what's going to happen with the president and what's going on with the interest rates, and now that we got to have these buyer broker agreements signed and all of this crap, if top producers aren't going there, you're not doing what you're supposed to do and copying their approach. As a matter of fact, To flip the script on that, if you do find meetings that top producers are going to, you do everything possible to get into that meeting, because that's something that's going to be valuable for your business. You've heard before, we are the sum of the 5 people closest to us. I want you to choose the 5 agents you spend the most amount of time with. You might say, I don't really talk to a lot of agents, or I occasionally talk to 2 or 3. Pick 5 names. The last 5 people that you talk to in the real estate business that you were socializing with in any way, do you want to be who they are? Or is that actually holding you back? See, there's some people that you spend time with. There's others that you invest time with. Maybe what you can't afford right now is to spend time where there's no return on investment. You need to stop spending time with people. You need to start investing time with people. I can guarantee you, you're not going to spend time with me. You are going to invest time with me, and you're going to get back massive amounts of dividends. Well, listen, I'm not a one of a kind. There's thousands of people that can help you around this country. There's people in your own marketplace that could. They won't in your own market. We'll talk about that in just a moment. How you get other agents to show you what they're actually doing. So what you will find is that they are marketing themselves heavily. A top producing agent anywhere in the country, they're marketing themselves heavily. Hold on for a minute. Calm down. That doesn't mean they're spending money. It doesn't mean you have to have money to do that. How much do you think it's costing me to talk to you right now? How much does it cost for all the agents that are running ads on Facebook Marketplace for free, and they're averaging 10 to 12 leads a day for free, and they're doing it all by themselves? It's free. You can market yourself heavily without needing to spend a bunch of money. Stop trying to find an excuse as to why you're not succeeding right now. So let's test your sincerity on growing your own real estate business here. Let's test it for just a moment. Do you have a fear of the phones? Are you afraid of calling people? Okay, so if I said, let's find an easy one. Call a for sale by owner. Do you feel comfortable with that, or does it make you kind of nervous? I'm not telling you to do that, by the way, but I want to use that as an example, because I'll give you another one here. Call a real estate agent. Find a top producer. Call them like here. So I live in Columbus, Ohio. I'm not going to call an agent in Columbus, Ohio, if I'm an agent here, because that would be considered competition, right? They're not going to tell you the truth. But I could call someone in Cleveland. I could call a top producer in Cincinnati. And here's what I want to say. Man, your name came up and I was checking you out online. You're selling a ton of houses right now. First of all, I just wanted to congratulate you. I mean, this is a tough business. I wanted to congratulate you on doing such a great job in Cleveland. But I got to ask, what's your number one lead source? Like, I'm impressed. What's your number one lead source? Let me ask you a question. What do you have to lose by calling a real estate agent in another big city in your state, not in your own city, in another big city, so it's not a competitor, and just say, hey, I'm from Columbus, Ohio. I see you're in Cleveland. We're not in the same MLS or anything, but man, you're crushing it out there. What's your number one lead source right now? Why would you be afraid of doing what is the worst thing that could happen? They hang up on you? They talk about your mama? Like, what is the worst possible thing that can happen? Because let me tell you something. Somebody that's became successful in this real estate business, they're proud of it. They don't mind talking about it. This is like a freaking interview. They're, oh yeah, I'll tell you all about, man, I've struggled before. Here's what I'm doing now. They couldn't be happier to have a little bit of an ego boost, to be recognized in our industry, that somebody else sees they're working their tail off, and they'd be happy to tell you the details. Why would you not do that? Because the real question is, what's the point of being able to spot a profitable agent if you're not going to create a conversation with them? We don't want jealousy and envy. We want to copy. We don't call it copying. We call it modeling. I want to model after your approach, right? So that's exactly what you need to be doing here. But so many agents are sitting back, sitting on their computer all freaking day, checking their email, hitting refresh, looking for something else to distract them from actually becoming profitable. Why would you not call 5 agents today? Their cell phone number is more readily accessible than any other industry in the world. You can't find a doctor's cell phone number. You'll damn sure find a real estate agent's cell phone number. You will reach them directly. And they'll be happy that it's not someone calling about their health insurance for real estate agents because NAR sold their entire list to make more money, to do more of the shit that they've been doing. Because, by the way, nobody has my contact list. Why do they have the NAR Whoever owns the contact list sold the contact list. Let's be honest, we've been sold out over and over and over. So if an agent calls another agent, they're happy to talk to you. If you are impressed by them and you want to learn a little bit about what they're doing, they would love to talk to you. They love to talk about what they've created because they've been on that struggle side before. They know how difficult it is. So these are things you need to be thinking about in your own business. But if you call 5 agents from other cities or even other states if you wanted to, but I think you'll get better conversations from other big cities in your area. Ask them what their number one source is, but then pry a little bit. Pry a little bit because you know what they're going to say. Oh, it's just people that know me, word of mouth, past clients, sphere of influence. That's what everybody's going to tell you. Okay, dig a little deeper. What do you do to spur business? Do you send them an email? Do you send them a newsletter? How often are you in touch with them? Do you have any type of referral program? Do you have a client appreciation event every year? You got to you can't just ask, how do you get, oh, I just get online leads. Oh, great. I talked to 5 agents and they all said they get online leads. So I'm going to go do that. What the hell are you going to do? You got to pry a little to find out not only source, but find out the tactic. Can you write that down in your notes? Not only the source that the number one source they use, but the tactic that they use. Do you have a sales letter? Do you have a video that you use? Do you have a newsletter that's being mailed out? Do you have a just listed, just sold card? Is there a certain call to action? Do you have them email you or do you have them call you or do they go to your website? Find out the tactic, not just the source. These are things that are crucial to your success and make use of that time. If you're going to call a top producer, if you're going to have a virtual lunch with them, right? Talk to them on the phone. If you're having lunch with them, ask them some prying questions. What's the worst that could happen? So don't only find out the source, but find out the tactic. I've got a slew of agents that I'm interviewing tomorrow. If you guys are watching this live, I'm interviewing a slew of agents tomorrow. We've been interviewing them. I'm actually getting copies. I don't know if I can reach it here. I'm actually getting copies of all of their closing checks, their commissions, their closing. Yeah, this dude right here did $194,000 in 90 days. He made $194,000. Here's every single closing statement and copies of his actual commission checks on what he made. This one here made $127,000 in 90 days. Copies of every single closing statement and every single commission check. Here's one that made $149,000. You know what you need to do? You need to spend time learning from agents that are out there crushing it. In 90 days, they're making $30,000, $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 a month. Find out what they're doing. So I do one-on-one Zooms with them. I actually record the meeting and learn a little bit about what's the number one tactic you used. How did you, we have our strategy, once we have our source, then we've got to get to our tactics and we really go deep on that. And so many of these agents are using the stuff that I teach, like we do that 90-day challenge. They're just crushing it in the 90-day challenge and they show the kind of results that they've had. Why would you not want to learn from those people? Why would you ever go to an office meeting? Because it's required. You know why your broker makes it required? Because nobody would go to the damn thing if it wasn't required. It sucks. So say, look, you know what's required is if you want to keep my license, I'm never going to your stupid ass meeting again. That's what's required. If you make me go to your meeting, it's a waste of my time and it actually brings down my potential of becoming successful. I just won't be here anymore. It's very easy to change brokerages. It takes me less than 5 minutes. So now you start spending time with top producers or learning what they did to become successful so that you can copy it yourself. I'm doing a training. Many of you know I haven't sold anything for over 5 months. I closed down enrollment on Inner Circle Coaching. We did that challenge back in March. Those agents were massively successful. I'm doing a free training tomorrow. And if you are seeing this live, you'll get an email. I'm sending it to my whole email list where we're talking about what these agents did to become successful. So if you're already on the list, you'll get the link. That's all there is to it. There's no opt-in or anything. I've already got your information. I'll just send you the link. You can watch it live. And finding out what these agents are doing, what kind of money they're making, what's working best for them. This is how you become successful, because there are agents out there that are struggling miserably, that are piling up debt, that are getting worse and worse every month. And they literally future pace, which is hope. They're hoping their business gets better, because they'll say things like, oh, well, if interest rates go down, that'll make a difference. Oh, if we get a different president, that we're definitely getting a different president now, that'll make things better for. Oh, well, if the NAR rules change, that'll make it change for. If half the realtors leave, that'll help me. They'll find all of these. Maybe in the future, if these things change, my life will get better. Dude, you went through the best market in the history of ever and didn't make $1 million? I don't think I'd wait on another pandemic to come through. I don't think I'd wait on another situation where people have more money than they've ever had. The government is mailing money to them. They can take out PPP. Homes are selling for $150,000 over asking price. I don't think you're ever going to have a market that's going to change to be better than what you missed. Let's get your shit together. Let's get a better approach by copying what top producers are doing right now. Nothing is going to change your business but you. The actions that you take are what's going to create that big change for you, and copying what other agents are doing. So we will be discussing that on tomorrow's training as well. And like I say, I'm sharing it with everyone. If you're already on my email, there is no opt-in page. Literally, I'm just giving it to everybody. So if you're already on my email list, you got the email yesterday. As soon as I'm done here today, I'm sending it out to my entire list saying, here's a direct link. Make sure you join us on Wednesday. If for some reason you're not on my email list, you can go to, how do you get on the email list? Greg'sPriorityList.com. That just lets you know when I'm doing free trainings to help you out. That's all it does. Greg'sPriorityList.com. If you get on there quick enough right now, you'll actually get the link, because I'm going to do it as soon as I close this down. I'm going to send that link to everybody for tomorrow's training. But what I want you to do is look at what other agents are doing. Like, that challenge that we created, that 90-day challenge, earn over $100,000 in 90 days. Some agents are struggling so bad they can't even fathom doing that. They're like, I can't, that just seems unrealistic for me. How can I make 100 grand in 90 days when I haven't had a closing in 90 days? Dude, I got stacks of agents that did exactly what you did. They had 0 closings. They then started taking the right steps every day and did over 100 grand in 90 days. I have video interviews and copies of their closing checks and closing statements. So the first thing is believing that what you've done does not mean it's what you're going to do. The previous results don't dictate future results. You first have to believe if you take the right actions, you can do those things to become successful. So in that challenge, we did what we call the Greg Luther letter, and I provide that for our inner circle members as well. But inside the challenge, we did not only the Greg Luther letter, but we had a Greg Luther email that we used. And so many of these agents said, this thing crushed it for me. It's the fastest results we get, because sometimes you send an email, you got a message back in 3 minutes. It's the fastest results they ever had. We only do that inside that challenge. And we'll be talking about, like, what are the elements of that? How do you utilize that? How can you copy what other agents are doing to become successful? Now, in your market, just like everywhere else, you're starting to see some expireds. What is the tactic that you use with expireds? It's not a freaking letter. It's not a postcard. It's not a phone call. Well, I was just seeing if you guys are interviewing other agents to... Dude, it expired a week ago. If they were still looking to sell, it would have already been listed. They're not taking their home off the market for a week. Maybe you fixed that problem. So I'm going to go through some of those things and show you a little bit about changes you can make for your own business simply based on the other agents that I'm interviewing before we even get on that call. So you can copy that yourself. But the fact is, there are agents out there that are crushing it right now. They are doing so well. Oh, our inventory is climbing. We have double the inventory we had before. Shit, that still ain't enough. It's not enough. Your problem is you're not getting your buyers to buy. If all of the buyers would buy, weren't dragging their feet, weren't waiting on, I heard rates are going to drop, weren't doing all of that stuff, you'd still be short on inventory. But what you'll find is top producers never, ever use the market as an excuse. They never say, oh, well, with everything going on right now, they're closing hundreds of thousands of dollars. This is in the last 90 days, effective now. The last 90 days, they're closing six figures. And many of these agents had no closings before they started going about it the right way. Do you want to call them? Do you want to learn from them? Do you want to hear from them live? You should do the same thing in your state. Look up top producers in another big city in your area, not in your city, but a contiguous area or something in your state that's not in the same MLS. Because that way they're not telling their competition what they're doing. But you just talk to them and you find out what they're doing. Why would you not make those 5 phone calls today? You're afraid to talk on the phone. You're afraid to make your business grow. What is the very worst thing that could happen? I mean, it costs you nothing other than getting over yourself. That's a head issue. If you don't look at that as, not only would I make the call, I would pay them $3,000 for 20 minutes of their time. I would hope so. That's not even a referral fee. I would hope you would pay them $3,000. They'll give it to you for free, but I'd want you to look at it as though, yeah, you would pay $3,000 for 20 minutes of their time to say, here's how I'm making hundreds of thousands of dollars. Of course you would do that. I'm showing you how to do it for free. Don't be a coward. Your business needs you to show up. So again, being that you are the sum of the 5 agents that you're closest to, keep in mind, if their business is zero, your business is zero. If their business is the occasional past client calls you up, you get 1 closing a month, that's what yours is too. Because you think that's what you should be doing right now. If I give you a freaking email to send your entire list, and that's going to generate at least 2 deals for you in the next week, I would do that. I think that would be more profitable for you. So I want you to think about that in your own business. I think my team put in the chat here somewhere, or you can just type it in your own browser, gregsprioritylist.com. You can unsubscribe from that anytime, but all it does is it gets you the link when I send it out to everybody. There's no cost or anything to that. But most importantly, you want to be following this channel. If you're following this page and you ring the bell, you got to turn on notifications, or what's the point? You'll never even get a notification. YouTube makes you ring the bell to turn on notifications so that you know when we have information coming out to you. So hopefully this is helpful for you, and you will make 4 or 5 calls today. It costs you $0 to do it. Those agents don't have a dog in the fight. They're going to do nothing but tell you what they're doing. Most important thing, don't just ask them the source. Find out the tactic. Oh, you're working with what we call our universe. So your sphere of influence is past clients, unconverted leads, people that know you, like you, and trust you, friends, family, all of that stuff. They all go in one, but it includes unconverted leads and people that you're generating through your marketing. As an example, all of the people that end up watching this video, as long as I keep retargeting to them, they'll get more information from me. Well, the same is true with all the buyers and sellers in your area, as long as you have more information going in front of them. So yes, of course, that's where all your business comes from the people that know you. You know who Kim Kardashian makes money from? Her sphere of influence. That's who she made. Let me think of a movie actor, Denzel Washington, one of my favorite movie actors. Denzel Washington makes money from his sphere of influence, from his fans that support his work. That's who you make money from too. Well, how the hell does that help anybody? Tell me the tactic of how you do that. The source is great. What's the tactic? Find that out today. You'll be a much better real estate agent because of it. You might even meet a good friend, and you'll change the top 5 people you hang out with. I'm going to talk about a lot of these top producers tomorrow on that training, as long as you're there. You got to be there live. I'm not sending out freaking replays and stuff. I told you guys, I don't need to make sales and try. I haven't done any of that stuff for a long time. I'm good. You want to be on there live? Be on there live. If you've got an appointment that's more important than that, sorry, you missed it. Go enjoy the appointment. It's so much more important than you making hundreds of thousands of dollars Go do it. But I want you to be there live so you can learn how this works for your business. Copy what other agents are doing, and you can start that today by calling other people in your state. Call agents and just ask them, what do you do? I'm so impressed by you. Tell me a little bit about it. Some of them are going to spend 30 minutes on the freaking phone with you. Trust me, they're not busy. You're busy because you're looking for work. You think you're putting in lots of hours. Talk to a top producer. They'll be like, oh, I'm on my boat. I decided to take a couple days off. They are not working hard. They're working efficiently. So make the call, get better at what you do, and make sure you join tomorrow as well. We do these morning meetings every single Tuesday as long as you're following the channel. If you're not following the channel and ringing the bell, you may never see me again. So I want to give you as much value as possible. Make those calls today. Shoot me an email. Let me know how it works out for you, and we'll talk to you soon. I'm Greg Luther, and bye-bye for now.